When you think about fixing up or decorating your car, what's one of the first names that comes to mind? Probably the reality TV show Counting Cars, which makes sense because it was so popular and lasted so long on the History Channel. It also made its host Danny Koker, who you might remember as the Count, very famous. Koker's ability to take car changes to a whole new level, using his years of experience and new cool ideas, made him a legendary person in the business. However, after the show ended in 2021, many rumors started spreading around the car industry about the different bad things that have happened to Koker. So let's look at what terrible new details about Danny Koker are real or fake. Before Koker became a reality TV star, musician, producer, famous mechanic, and owner of Count's Customs, he was just one of the newest babies in Cleveland, Ohio. He was born on January 5, 1964, and named Daniel Nicholas Koker II. Young Koker grew up around classic cars and other vehicles because his father worked at the Ford Motor Company, along with lots of friends and family. And as you would expect when kids are interested in toys, Koker was curious to find out how these life-size toys worked. His father noticed his son's growing love for cars and decided to give him a cruiser as a gift. This was where it all started. Koker began to get into car fixing and customizing. Cars were clearly his biggest passion. However, just like his father, Koker loved music too. His father played around with music and was the deep voice singer and keyboard player for the Cathedral Quartet, a well-known Southern gospel group. He even performed with several groups, including the Oak Ridge Boys, C.L. Franklin, Mahalia Jackson, and the Foggy River Boys. Besides his own music interests, he was also the leader of the Koker family band called the Koker Family Singers, which included Koker himself, his mother, and siblings. So it wasn't surprising that young Koker followed in his father's footsteps, and at age 11 played at Carnegie Hall. His interest in music only got stronger with time. When he became a teenager, Koker's education was basic shop and car studies at Valley High School. But his real learning was happening outside of school. He would watch his father work on old cars and change engines for hours at a time. He would learn from skilled mechanics and car experts too. He got help taking apart vehicles and learned what different parts were and what they did. Young Koker was learning about how these machines worked and how they could be fixed when other people had given up on them. According to him, the only real schooling I had was what you can get in high school, and that is your basic shop class and automotive class. Other than that, it is just a matter of getting your hands dirty and taking something apart to see how it works. Then you've got to figure out how to put it back together. This hands-on and very practical way of learning would eventually make Koker stand out among many others in the car business. It might have started as a hobby, but by the time he would leave high school, there was no doubt about where his future was going. He never actually graduated from high school in the normal way. However, after high school, he went to the University of Nevada. As Koker got older, his father decided to branch out from the car business and bought Channel 33, a Las Vegas TV station. The station's main shows included older movies, sitcoms, dramas, and Christian religious programs. At the time, under the Kokers, the station worked as an independent one focused mainly on local content, and it even showed movies like the scary B-movie Saturday Fright at the movies. It was this movie that brought Koker into the spotlight, as he ended up playing a major role in it as Count Cool Rider. On December 18, 1997, the Koker family sold Channel 33 Inc. to Montecito Broadcasting Corporation, and the sale was finished on February 3, 1998. However, Koker had left his acting career a few years before to focus on fixing and customizing cars and bikes. The car that made him choose this path was the very first car he owned, a 1979 Camaro Z28. Koker had taken the car apart and customized it all from front to back until it became a street-style Can-Am race car. The success of this project was more than enough to push Koker into a full-time career. He started Count's Tattoo Company, a business that combined his two biggest passions, cars and tattoos. The business soon became popular among tattoo lovers and car fans. Koker's dream of owning a business only focused on car customizing and restoration soon came true when he started his shop Count's Customs here in Nevada. Koker started fixing abandoned cars at this custom shop, and just like his first business, this new place quickly got recognition in the industry. In the early 2000s, Count's Customs became the place to go for anyone looking for quality, and you wouldn't believe the type of people that came to the shop. One of them was Rick Harrison of Pawn Stars, and he often called on Koker to check the value of vintage muscle cars. This let Koker show his brilliance and expert knowledge on TV to millions of viewers. This connection with Harrison helped him further cement his position in the car community. But it did more than that. Harrison's show Pawn Stars aired on History Channel, and it was doing really well. It was doing so well, in fact, that they were thinking about spin-offs. Seeing Koker's special abilities with cars, and his incredible ability to turn rust buckets into dazzling works of art, plus the fact that he had his Count's Customs already well established, it was a no-brainer for the producers. Koker was their spin-off, and so Counting Cars was born. The series, which is the third spin-off of Pawn Stars, was filmed in Las Vegas, where it showed the day-to-day activities at Koker's Count's Customs. Koker's dream was being shared with the world. His father's teaching and his own personal struggle through the years and the incredible career he had fought to build, all that led to this moment. Counting Cars started on August 13, 2012. The first episode had Harrison bring in the 1968 Bullitt Mustang. This classic Mustang fastback was rough when it arrived on the show, but Harrison insisted he wanted it transformed into a Bullitt tribute, all on a modest budget. Koker and his team worked brilliantly on the car, and the result was a work of art which clearly won over viewers. The first season had 13 episodes, and when it ended, fans wanted more. So when the second season started, it had twice the number of episodes as the first season. Clearly, people loved it, and they did so much that the show was renewed for a third season. At some point, during an exciting episode of the show, Koker and his team took on the task of counting the number of cars in the warehouse. After making their way through a variety of vehicles that included both vintage muscle cars, motorcycles, and modern sports cars, they concluded there was a total of 1,500 cars within the warehouse at that time. This achievement was shared on social media and featured in news articles, contributing to the promotion of the Counting Cars show. The show had established Koker as a legend in the field of vehicle customizing and restoration, so it wasn't surprising when he was given the role of producer within a few years of the show airing. He was already well known locally in Las Vegas before Counting Cars. Now, all over the country, he was the car makeover, bandana-wearing, tattoo guy with a beard. He was the leading expert on custom cars, and therefore the go-to person for questions about customizing cars and motorcycles. And this included Hollywood stars from Alice Cooper to Tommy Lee, Dee Snider, George Lynch, and Judas Priest, just to name a few. These big names wanted the best, and Koker was it. Even when Ozzy Osbourne wanted a very difficult-to-build custom chopper, he came to Koker. With this connection to the big celebrities, Koker got invited to auto shows, parties, and even additional TV appearances. Count's Customs became one of the most popular places in the city, with tourists and car fans pouring in from all over. To be honest, this brought a big change in financial status, and Koker's business nature kicked in again. He renovated Rock Bar and Grill by Count, which became one of his most notable ventures. He founded Count's Vamped, a unique Las Vegas place known for its unique mix of Gothic looks, motorcycle culture, and rock music atmosphere. Despite the fame and money, Koker ran into several problems. A simple legal issue changed the whole story and exposed a dark, shocking secret he had been hiding for years. Given the nature of his business, it was expected that Koker would have to deal with the occasional legal headache, like when a couple who brought their 1967 Ford Mustang to be modified in the hopes that it would appear on TV. Not long after Counting Cars began filed a lawsuit against Koker's company in 2014. According to the $50,000 lawsuit, the couple wanted a refund because they found out that no work had begun on the car, and that the car was not even the type they had in mind. The case was settled soon after. Clearly, it wasn't so serious that Koker should get a jail sentence or be placed under arrest. 3 years later, however, he faced another legal problem when a $75,000 lawsuit was brought against a former employee of Count's Customs who was allegedly getting payments from Koker's company as payment for controlled drugs. After investigation, it was discovered that the drugs belonged to Koker, and he was sentenced to 30 days in jail. Many were shocked to learn of the arrest, and the revelation of Koker's unreported battle with drug addiction was a shock to the industry. Fans couldn't believe that Koker, who was basically a role model thanks to his reputation as a cool person, who loved his cars. It was inevitable that his business and career would suffer as a result of these series of events. The future of Counting Cars was a source of worry, and Count's Customs came under fire. After spending time in jail, Koker decided to follow through on his sobriety, using the same level of toughness and dedication he had shown in his business and reality TV career. Since then, despite newer legal problems, he hasn't been taken into custody, and he was able to win back the respect of his clients and fans because of his openness about his difficulties and commitment to his recovery. Koker's commitment also extended to his music. His club Count's Vamped played a big role in keeping his music alive. The club got popular among both residents and tourists because Koker managed to create a unique and welcoming atmosphere through his love of retro style and rock music. And at some point, the guitarist who hosted the weekly jam night found out that Koker used to do music, so he would get him to come up on stage and sing with him. Eventually, some other people were invited to sing, and a particular group that included Koker ended up on the same stage at the same time, and they played so well together. According to Koker, it just felt real. It felt great. We all just really clicked. After that night, we sat out on the patio there at the club and talked about how good it felt. And we just decided for the next jam night, why don't we get together? Let's learn a few songs together. Let's rehearse a little bit. So we did that. And then our jam night started to actually draw a crowd. As a jam night, this group ended up becoming Count 77, Koker's own band. He said when asked about the band coming together, "We're rehearsing all the time," and then it grew into basically our own band. So it was really an honest, organic growth from a group of guys that are all about the same age group. We all grew up listening to the same stuff. We're all very passionate about the same type of music, so it happened very honestly like that. Soon enough, Count 77 started opening for bigger bands and continued to play at the club too. As Koker became more successful with Counting Cars, his band too enjoyed more popularity. The band released its first album, and one of its most well-known songs is Summer of '77. They were even voted into Blues Rock Review's top 20 albums of 2014. When asked what the goal of the band was, Koker said, "I can't say that I have a real goal for this. I just want it to continue, and I want it to be the best that it can be. I'm never satisfied, and neither is anybody else in the band, which is amazing for us. I don't know what the goal is, but I can just tell you that all 6 of us are very dedicated to this band. All 6 of us are dedicated to working at it for real." Succeeding in the car business and in music It seemed like everything Koker touched turned to gold. We assume that there are fans who don't know that Koker doesn't get all the credit for his success. There's a private life behind the glamour that includes Koker's long-lasting marriage to Koker, a gifted musician and businesswoman. Years before the deal for counting cars would even come to the table, Koker and Corey got together, two people who enjoyed both cars and rock and roll. From Count 77 to Count's Customs, Corey has played a major role in all of them, especially Count's. Vamped, in which Corey has been heavily involved in operating. She has been the force in the background that keeps things running smoothly. The couple have managed to balance their successful careers while generally avoiding public attention in their personal lives. However, some bits and pieces still come out. The couple's marriage had been the subject of rumors that claimed Koker's busy schedule caused stress in their married life. At the time, fans believed the future of their business empire would collapse if the couple had split. But rather than addressing these rumors in public, the couple chose to keep their private business private. Another issue that worried fans was the rumors that Corey had experienced a health crisis which caused her to temporarily step away from her position at Vamped. There were other reports going around on the internet claiming she had passed away in a car accident. Even though these details weren't entirely verified, fans still voiced their support and well wishes for Corey, highlighting how much the couple meant to the Las Vegas community and beyond. And when she returned to work, people were simply glad to have her back at Count's Vamped. One thing is certain. Despite the rumors, the couple's relationship remains as strong as ever, despite the demands of fame and business. Koker has occasionally voiced his gratefulness for having a partner who shared his passions and understands the responsibilities of his job. After 10 seasons and 184 episodes, the curtain was drawn over Counting Cars in 2021. Despite this being the end of the show, it was still praised for being one of the History Channel's most successful shows. In fact, fans kept hoping for news of a season renewal, but none was coming. Since Koker still owns Count's Customs, he decided to keep a door open for as many fans who wanted to get a taste of the show. According to the official Count's Customs website, free tours of the shop are available on a daily basis, showcasing some of the most memorable builds from the show's history. In fact, they built a museum there too, so that fans could get full satisfaction. Truth be told, Counting Cars did change the face of reality television, especially in the car restoration category. This effect can be seen in the newly established standards for reality TV programming. For example, the way Counting Cars blended the technical aspects of car restoration with the individual stories of the team members was something that had not been done that well before. It's no wonder it lasted so long. With the show done over 3 years ago, Koker has shown no signs of slowing down. He is still the celebrity mechanic who is an actual recording artist with not 1 but 2 full-length albums. However, there have been occasional rumors about his health that go around on social media. There is no clear sign that he is currently dealing with any illness or health issues. He is reportedly believed to be in good health. To prevent his fans from being scammed and lied to, he tweeted on X, "I am personally on Twitter only. While my companies are on all the platforms, I am personally only on Twitter. There are fake DK accounts on FB and other platforms. Not me, don't fall for it." Report it. Presently, Koker is reported to be worth about $4 million, and with over 100 personal cars, which includes about 70 motorcycles and almost 55 cars, some of which he inherited from his father, who had passed away in 2008. Koker may not be on TV, as he used to be at some point, but his legacy effectively connected a niche industry to its fans. His show made a complex thing more relatable and engaging for the audience. This has given other reality programs the opportunity to explore lesser-known niches and communities. Koker's story is one of toughness. From his childhood passion for cars, which was well announced through a widely successful counting cars, to the unexpected jail time, Koker's journey inspires many to remain determined and keep their foot on the gas of their dreams until they arrive at their desired location. In time,